Welcome back to my channel. I'm Celestial Tree. I'm a professional astrologer, intuitive reader, and soul psychologist as well. I hope we're all doing well during this Mercury retrograde. I'm actually getting sick. I think it's the weather change. My girlfriend was sick for a while, and I thought I could kind of skate by it and be alright, but that's not the case. So if I sound lower or if I sound out of breath, it's because I am. So just bear with me for this video. So today we are going to be chatting about the new moon in Sagittarius happening on December 1st in the middle of a Mercury retrograde in the same sign. This new moon will be at 9 degrees of Sagittarius, so be sure to check your charts for any planets or points that are around 9 degrees of mutable signs. So Sagittarius, Gemini, Pisces and Virgo, because that's likely to be where you feel the effects of the new moon the most. Before I get started, it is time for the gentle reminder. If you would like a reading from me, you can book with me on my website at celestialhealingrealm.com. And remember to subscribe to my channel for more astrology updates. I think I'm at like 41 subscribers with this new channel, and I'm so grateful. So thank you. Excuse me. Also, there is currently a 20% discount on my 2025 year ahead readings, where we kind of do like an in-depth analysis of the year ahead, the full 12 months, and I kind of walk you through the energies that you can come to expect. So yeah, go and check out my website for that. There are limited spaces available. I think there's actually about 3 slots left, so if you're interested, be sure to check that out. So yes, this new moon is our second to last new moon before the end of the year. That new moon in Capricorn, that beautiful new moon in Capricorn at the end of the year. And it's at the same time as this new moon is at the same time as the final Mercury retrograde of the year. So if you haven't seen your horoscopes for Mercury retrograde in Sagittarius, they should be up on my channel now. So yeah, go check them out if you're interested. So if you know anything about the moon cycles, you know that new moons are generally really good times for setting intentions and beginning new cycles. But if you know anything about Mercury retrograde, then you know that that's kind of the worst time to start something new. So Mercury retrograde is really good for returning to things, tying up loose ends. That's kind of a better way to work with the energy of Mercury retrograde. So where does that leave us with this particular new moon in Sagittarius? So what I will say is that wherever Sagittarius is in your chart, whatever areas of life this retrograde is calling you to kind of reflect on and review, and where it's trying to encourage you to cultivate a deeper sense of Sagittarian freedom, it's likely that this new moon will probably not be super good for starting new cycles or beginning something new, but taking what you're learning about yourself taking what you're learning about yourself during this retrograde cycle, taking what you're learning about whatever area Sagittarius rules for you, and setting some intentions, not necessarily beginning plans like practically and realistically, but setting some intentions. So what I would say is, what you're learning about yourself during this retrograde cycle, try to set some new intentions in that area. And then after December 15th, when the retrograde cycle is over, that's when you can kind of go full steam ahead. Maybe not full steam ahead, but you guys know what I mean. So here is how the new moon in Sagittarius will affect each sign. And please remember to listen to both your sun sign and your rising sign as well. These Aries suns and Aries risings, I hope we're okay. This new moon will fall in your 9th house of overseas travel, higher learning and beliefs. At the time of this new moon, Mercury retrograde is in that same area of your chart, and it will already be in full swing. So you may have already been reflecting on these areas of your life and how you kind of want them to look, or how you might want them to improve going into the next year. So you could, at the time of this new moon, set some intentions to travel or to return to study. Although I would actually do those things after December 15th to avoid any kind of delays and mishaps. But you're in a reflective space. Mercury retrograde, we are kind of nearing the end of the year. So you're entering into kind of like this reflective space in regards to how much your belief system has changed over the course of the year, as a result of not just the things that have happened, but also as a result of the people that you have met and the places that you have been as well. This new moon is not so much a great time to put those kind of like revelations and stuff, and those plans into action per se, but keep those intentions in your heart, write them down, and stay open to the things that kind of come up for you, not just around this new moon, but during the entire retrograde cycle, because these things that are coming up for you are coming up so that you can really reflect on them and really think about them. So stay open around this new moon, and throughout the retrograde cycle, so that post December 15th you can start to kind of put your plans for yourself into motion with more self-awareness and a clearer vision. Taurians, Taurus suns and Taurus risings. Oh my god, I'm so sick. Okay, so this new moon in Sagittarius will fall in your 8th house of shared resources, intimacy, and the psyche. So this new moon is happening during a Mercury retrograde in that same area of your chart. So what could happen is there could be some revelations and kind of fresh energies and intentions that kind of come up around this new moon regarding intimacy and shared finances. Excuse me. This new moon is squaring Saturn in your 3rd house of communication. So there might be some kind of, Saturn's quite a serious planet, so there could be some serious conversations to be had with your partner or with somebody that you share finances with, so like an institution like a bank or a loan company. There could be some serious conversations around your joint finances and how to navigate them better going forward into the new year. This area of shared resources might be the source of some frustrations over the next few weeks. But this new moon gives you an opportunity to really sit down and talk about the nature of your finances and how you guys want that to look in the new year. And you might be putting some really good like practical ideas down for that. What I will say is that there is still a Mercury retrograde going on in the background, so there might not be any forward motion or like, you know, tangible results for these plans until after December 15th, but the conversations that you have with a partner or with yourself are really important. Nonetheless, they're important. So I also want to kind of bring to your attention that in terms of your psyche, you might be reflecting on some of the changes that you want to see when it comes to your mental health and how you manage that and how you navigate that going forward into next year. So what I would say is be gentle with yourself when you are thinking about these things, and try and go with the flow. Try and go with the flow with the things that come up for you around the time of this new moon. Geminis, Gemini suns, and my fellow Gemini risings. I hope we're well. I hope we're doing okay. This new moon will fall in your 7th house of relationships. 7th house. I'm sick. I'm so sorry. The 7th house also rules over contracts and marriage, and open enemies as well. So there's been a lot of reflections in these areas since November 25th. And there'll be a lot more reflections as the week progresses. As the weeks progress, rather. In terms of this new moon, it does feel like a new beginning in the area of the 7th house. It does feel like there are some revelations surrounding your relationships and your one-to-one partnerships that come up around December 1st. It is likely that since you're already in a reflective space, there might be some things about your relationship that come back up around this new moon in order for you to kind of address them and release them, so that you're kind of free to set new intentions in this area of your life. If you're a single, then this is a time where you could actually meet someone new, or you could be considering taking a romantic interest a lot more serious and thinking about the future. What I will say is that this new moon is squaring Saturn too. So Saturn is over in your 10th house space, which rules over your reputation and your status. So there might be some serious conversations either with a partner or with yourself around things like relationships and marriage and the future and how that might look for you. What I will say is keep those intentions in your heart, like write them down, and stay in that reflective space. And then after the 15th of December, you can look to put those plans into tangible and practical action. Cancerians, Cancer suns and Cancer risings. This new moon in Sagittarius will fall in your 6th house of physical health, day-to-day routines and work. So this new moon will definitely be like an aha moment in regards to your work and your health. I think you've been reflecting a lot since I was gonna say since November 25th, but I feel like it's kind of been a lot longer than that. Reflecting on what your day-to-day looks like, how you can improve your work situation, reflecting on your relationship, your mind-body relationship. And this new moon does feel like a moment where you're kind of like, this is what I should be doing. Or this is what I need to incorporate into my daily life in order to improve my work and my health. So what I will say is that this new moon is really good for setting intentions, but not necessarily for taking action. So I would encourage you, if you do have any revelations about those 6th house areas, take some time to write them down somewhere, anywhere. But stay in that Mercury retrograde reflective space, because there could be more lessons and reviews that Mercury retrograde will encourage you to look over, and in order to kind of build a really cohesive and tangible plan for your health, well-being and your work as well. Then after the 15th of December, you might start to put these plans into action and take steps to make the changes that you want, and really embody the changes that you want to see in these areas of your life. Leos, Leo suns and Leo risings. This new moon will fall in your 5th house of all things pleasure, fun and dating. This area of your chart also rules over things like creative expression, hobbies and also children. So if you've been reflecting a lot on these areas of your life recently, on how intentional you are with your creative expression, with the way that you date and the way that you seek pleasure, this new moon could bring some revelations and kind of spur you to set new intentions in some of those areas that I just mentioned. As Mercury is still retrograde at the time of this new moon, it isn't really the time to put your ideas and revelations and plans into action, because everything is kind of slowing down, and this retrograde might bring some challenges in the areas of dating and creativity and fun and child rearing. So the reason these challenges are coming up is so that you can become aware of some internal work that maybe needs to be done in those areas, so you can address them and work through them and move forward. So if this does happen, if you do have some challenges, then note them down. If you have ideas on how to mediate them, write them down, keep them in your heart, and then you can start to take action in these areas after December 15th, when everything feels like it has a lot more forward motion. Virgos, Virgo suns and Virgo risings. This new moon in Sagittarius will fall in your 4th house of home and family and the past. So Virgos, you have been reflecting on matters of the home and family ever since Mercury went retrograde in that 4th house space on November 25th. So this could be a time where you have some revelations about how you want to proceed, not just home wise but family wise as well. What I mean is, you could be having some conversations and some discussions around what it is that you want your home and family life to look like. With this new moon, it is also squaring Saturn in Pisces over in your 7th house of relationships. So if you have a partner, you might be having some really down to earth, serious conversations about not just your plans, but also your time frame for a lot of these plans as well. This new moon does feel like a new beginning, and things are slowing down or feeling a little bit tense in the areas of home and family because of that retrograde cycle that we're in. Try and go with the flow and slow down as well. If people around you, whether that be like a partner or family members, are not super receptive to your ideas and to your plans, this energy is only temporary, so try not to read too much into it. Things should feel like they have a lot more forward motion after December 15th. So keep your ideas and your intentions for home and family in your heart, write them down, and then start to plan in a more like practical, realistic and tangible way after December 15th, when the retrograde cycle is over. Librans, Libra suns and Libra risings. This new moon will fall in your 3rd house of communication, short distance travel and learning, also siblings as well. So with Mercury retrograde, I hope that you haven't had too many like delays and miscommunications and travel problems over the last week or so. Even though things have generally been slowing down, this new moon might be a little bit busy for you, Libras. You might be kind of running around trying to tie up loose ends and making sure that everything is in order before you wind down for Christmas. You might find yourself having to make some short trips here and there. That is the nature of the 3rd house, unfortunately. If you have watched my Mercury retrograde horoscope video, then you hopefully have been leaving some extra time before you travel to mediate some of the potential delays. This is not really a great time for taking action, but set some intentions with some of the projects that you want to work on next year. The 3rd house also rules over learning, so take some time to think about what you want to learn or look into going into 2025. If you're feeling burnt out from all the busyness, try and remember to take a break and take some time for yourself around this new moon. Scorpios, Scorpio suns and Scorpio risings, I hope we're doing well. This new moon will fall in your 2nd house of finances, values and self-worth. So Scorpios, you have been reflecting on these areas quite a lot during Mercury retrograde in Sagittarius. I feel like you've been examining your relationship to your finances and questioning like your values and really trying to build ways to cultivate a deeper sense of self-worth and a more solid sense of self-worth. This new moon is an opportunity to take those things that you've been reflecting on and set new intentions in the areas of money and how you feel about yourself generally. A lot has happened for you this year. It's been a time, hasn't it? So this new moon is a time where you kind of start getting clear. You're starting to get clear on how you can be better with money next year, how you can utilize your talents. The 2nd house also rules over talents. How you can monetize your talents and make them work for you. I also think this new moon is a really good chance to not so much sit and make plans. I would encourage you to still stay in that reflective space, but to start to kind of visualize and get clear on what it is that you want to bring in money-wise next year. And I think the new moon in Capricorn at the end of the year will be a lot better for making plans. But for now, stay in that reflective space and have a think about what new beginning you want for yourself money-wise and how that will look for you. Sagittarians, Sagittarius suns and Sagittarius risings. this new moon will focus very much on that first house space of your chart. So your identity, your ego, your life path, and your physical body. So you have been reflecting on a lot of these areas in your life, especially your life path, and reviewing this during Mercury retrograde. So this new moon will kind of come as an opportunity to set new intentions without taking action just yet. But setting new intentions for yourself and how you want your life to look. Mars right now, planet Mars, is also present in your ninth house of beliefs and your personal philosophy. So what I would say and encourage is that you, excuse me, imbue these new intentions for yourself, the intentions surrounding your life path and how you want that to look. Imbue those intentions for yourself with the things that you've also been learning about as it pertains to your belief system and how you see the world, which is what the ninth house rules over. I think slowing down before the end of the year, and at the time of this new moon, sitting down, really examining how you want 2025 to look for you is going to be really important. Ask yourself what goals you want to focus on. Who do you want to meet next year? Where do you want to travel to and visit? That's going to be the questions that kind of come up for you around this new moon. I think on a more physical level, you might be planning almost how to like reinvent yourself next year and thinking about what type of energy you want to exude next year. I don't know why I did this. This is like exude, you know? So I feel like you're going to be in that energy where you're trying to plan how you're going to look and what type of energy you're going to carry, which is really, really good. So this is a really good new moon for you, Sagittarian. So let me know how you plan on navigating it down in the comments. Capricorn suns and Capricorn risings. This new moon will be in your 12th house of rest, spirituality, mental health, and what is hidden. So there is a Mercury retrograde in the same area of your chart. So you will have already been reflecting on a lot of these areas, not just in the last few days, but those reflections and reassessments will continue throughout the next few weeks as well. This new moon is a time for you to kind of set some intentions in the areas of how you rest and how you replenish yourself and how you're managing your mental health. Things like disturbed sleep and just your mental space in general might still be a little bit fuzzy around this new moon, but whatever is coming up for you to address and reconfigure, take note of it, integrate it as best you can. You will start to feel better and your mind might start to feel a lot clearer after December 15th when the retrograde cycle is done. But take some time for yourself during this new moon and the weekend that it falls on. Please get some sleep if you can. Excuse me. You guys have worked really, really hard this year. And I feel like sometimes you guys have a tendency, and I'm saying this as a Capricorn moon, you guys have a tendency to overwork even when you're burnt out. So please take some time to replenish your energy this weekend and take some time for yourself. Aquarius. Oh my gosh, I'm out of breath. I hate being sick. Aquarius suns and Aquarius risings. I apologize. I hope we're doing okay. This new moon in Sagittarius will be in your 11th house of groups, friends, and long-term goals for the future. So it's kind of a weird new moon because typically I'd be like, right, Aquarians, it's time to sit down, make some plans, set some things in motion, especially when it comes to your future dreams. But this new moon is a little bit different. There is a Mercury retrograde going on at the same time in the same area of your chart. So this new moon is a really fantastic time for not taking action per se, but setting intentions based on what the retrograde cycle is bringing to your attention, especially in the areas of friendship, groups, long-term goals, and dreams for the future. So what have you been becoming aware of about your friends and your friendship groups and your future goals during this retrograde cycle, and how can you take that information and integrate it into your intentions that you're setting around the time of this new moon in Sagittarius? What I would say is remain in that reflective space. Think about the friendships that you've made, how much you've managed to network this year, what you want for yourself in the future. And if you do have the chance to write some of these intentions down, I would encourage you to do so. Then when the retrograde cycle is over after December 15th, it will be a lot easier to kind of practically plan and take those tangible steps towards your goals in these areas, especially as we're moving into a new year. Pisceans, my fellow Pisces suns and Pisces risings, this new moon in Sagittarius will fall in, I should say our 10th house of career, public status and reputation. So with Mercury also retrograde through this area, there are things about your reputation, about your current status, about your public life and about your career that you've been considering and reflecting on. I would say not just from November 25th, but kind of this whole year. And those reflections will continue throughout the coming weeks, and the revelations about yourself and these areas of your life will continue to come even past December 15th, if I'm being honest. This new moon might bring with it some aha moments in regards to your career and what it is that you want to plan for and what it is that you want to do in the year, like moving forward. It's a great new moon to set intentions based on the revelations that you have. Not so much a good time to take action as things are kind of slowing down with that Mercury retrograde cycle, but certainly being open and remaining in that reflective space will be really, really beneficial around the time of this new moon. So when you do sit down to plan post December 15th, you will have a lot more clarity, a lot more self-awareness, and your plans of actions will be more aligned with who you are and what you've learned about yourself over the course of this retrograde cycle. So yeah, stay open to the things that are coming up. I would say Saturn is also in your first house, and it is in a tense aspect to this new moon. So this new moon won't be without its frustrations, especially when it comes to tangible kind of Saturnian things like practicality and planning and being realistic. But what I would say is stay reflective, get imaginative. I know you can do it. We can do it better than anyone. Keep the faith, and then after December 15th, you can really start to put action towards the intentions that you would have set at the time of this new moon. So that is all for today, guys. Remember to like this video and subscribe to my brand new channel. I would appreciate it. And let me know in the comments how you plan on navigating not just this new moon, but Mercury retrograde as a whole. And also remember to follow me on TikTok and Instagram. They're both linked in the description box below. And do message me or send me an email if you have any questions. Happy healing!